Hey guys, welcome to our YouTube channel Mainframe Girls. As I have uploaded already a mainframe Abends video on SB37. So this is another Abends video where we'll be explaining another two system Abends. After SB37, a space Abend, a very common Abend SB37, the most space Abends which we get are SE37 and SD37, which are also have a same solution as SB37, but these two will occur on a different situations. So in this video, I'll tell you how SE37 and SD37 will occur and how to solve them. First, SD37. SD37 will occur when you will not give secondary allocation in space. Like you remember, right? As I told you how to create a data set, you give a primary allocation and secondary allocation while creating a data set, right? Secondary allocation is something it will be taking how many extents a data set will reach that space. If you're giving 200, 300, that space will be taken for a extent for new extents. So when you forget or when you create a data set only with primary allocation and there is no space for data set to move more. Suppose if you have given primary allocation 5,000 and your data set is 4,000, then it will stop there. It will not get abent. Okay, if your data set needs 5,001 tracks, then your data set will abend saying SD37, which means there is no secondary space for it. And SE37 mostly occurs when there is no space in that particular volume. And SB37, SE37, like B for book and E for eagle, mostly these two occurs on the same basis when the volume, if the data set is a only single volume data set and there isn't any space in that volume, then you get SE37. And sometimes when you are creating a new member in the data set and there isn't space in that particular volume or in that data set and it has reached its extents, then also you get SE37 with reason code 04. Okay, I'll tell you, mostly the solutions are same as SB37, that is B for book, but this SD37 will have a different solution. So I'll tell you what is the solution which we use to figure out SD37 and SE37. Here are the some of the solutions which we can do if we get SE37 or SD37. Most of them are same as SB37, that is B for book. So when you'll get SE37 where there isn't enough space in the member in the PDS file, then you have to do a compress on it. Run a IB copy with the compress, saying if you run an IB copy with sysut1 and sysut2 with the both file, the dataset will be compressed. Or go to 3.22 and copy again the data in it. You can do a compress there also. Indirectly with a line command, you can give Z in front of it and compress it. Otherwise, create a new data set with more space allocation, copy this old data into it and use that data set, the new data set. As I told you, end of volume will be taken for this file. So in the same way, there's another solution like volume. As I told you, end of volume, when there is enough space in that volume, the data set will give you SE37. Make it a multi-volume dataset. If that application allows a multi-volume dataset, make it a multi-volume dataset by using a volume parameter and a unit parameter. As I told you, volume, you can give 255 here till 255, but a dataset, as we know, a PDS file will be going only for one volume. So that is the reason we get SE37 when there isn't enough space in that. The first basic thing for SE37 is mostly for if you're getting it for PDS file, remember that PDS file is a single volume data set. Okay, you cannot make it multi-volume. Okay, you cannot make a PDS file a multi-volume. So the basic thing is compress. If after compressing also, if it isn't giving you enough space, check the volume, what is the space. Try to run a defrag. There is another option which is called defrag. You can run defrag. Okay, if after running defrag also, if the data set is not getting enough space, the only option is to create a new data set with more allocation in a new volume with a bigger space volume. As I told you in DASD video, there are different types of volumes: mod 3, mod 9, mod 27 mod 54 create, if that file is an important file, like think like it's a palmlib, it's sys1.palmlib, it's a palmlib file, it's a system file, try to create it in a bigger volume so that you don't get this SE37 Abend in future, right? Like as you know, a PDS file is a single volume file, so you need space in that volume. So at that time only you will get SE37, because PDS file cannot extend multi-volume. If it is a PS file and you're getting SE37, do this thing. You can make it a multi-volume dataset. But if it's a PDS file and you want to do it and you want to increase the space, only thing is to create a new file with more space in a bigger volume and copy the old data into it, or compress it if it is working. Okay, and if there is other space issue, if there isn't space in the storage group, this thing is also possible here. Add new volumes to the storage group so that you will get a new space and you can use that new volume for creating a new data set. For secondary space, as I told you, you will be not giving, for SD37, as I told you will be not giving the secondary space. So when you see SD37 Abend, try to make changes to the space parameter. Just change the space parameter with primary allocation and secondary allocation, then it will help you to avoid SD37. Okay. Otherwise, if there are some applications which require that to be in one extent, or it wants to be a bigger one, then increase the primary allocation. But remember, when you are increasing the primary allocation, the only thing is that primary allocation, mostly the dataset will look in one dataset. I mean, one volume. It will look in one volume. If you're giving some 10,000 tracks in primary and you're giving 0 in secondary, this 10,000 track, it will search in a single volume. If it isn't getting single volume, again it will fail with SB37, that is book, SBook 37. So it's better to make a balance of primary and secondary. So if you have any doubts, or if you want any more abends to be explained, please comment us below so that we'll explain you. Or if you want to suggest us on making videos on something else, please suggest us. But kindly like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.